So I spent almost an hour and a half touring Holbrook because the Dragon Bash Festival has returned to Guild Wars 2 after an absence of almost 7 years. Pretty much since the start of the game was the only time that the Dragon Bash Festival appeared, and it never returned until 2019. I love the music I hear in the Sugar Peak Mountains. So nostalgic. Sandra's Lore here was my very first character. She's a female Norn, and by the way, look at that view. So anyways, I felt that, or let me try that again. Dragon Bash Festival, I've never heard of it until now. I heard of the Queen's Gauntlet, I'd heard of the Festival of the Four Winds, I'd heard of Winter's Day, I'd heard of Super Adventure Festival, but I've never, until last week, heard of Dragon Bash. Now, I've heard of Zytaffy, which is right there. I'd heard of that, and I was like, oh yeah, it's part of some festival that isn't around anymore. And I didn't give it a second thought. Okay, it's something that I'll never be part of. Well, lo and behold, they brought it back, so yay. And I spent almost an hour and a half touring through Holbrook, which, by the way, remains my favorite racial capital city. It's my favorite still. Not just because of the character, just because, well, Divinity's Reach is a crowded mess, and it's a little too symmetrical. I'm not sure how I feel that. Yeah, it's neat and all, but whatever. Radasum, to this day, I still get lost in the lower level. Like, I don't know why. So I don't even go to the lower level. And of course, the Grove has absolutely nothing. Or I should say that Radasum has nothing on the Grove. Grove is just a tangled mess. Or a tangled depth, if you wish. And then there's the Black Citadel, which looks very, very neat. And it has a lot of interesting places you can go, but not a lot actually happens in any of those places. I still think there's a jumping puzzle that could be built directly underneath the city. Actually, I think there's a jumping puzzle could be built pretty much in any of the cities. Like, for example, I think a jumping puzzle could be built back here in the mountaintops. I think it's absolutely possible. Or in the whatever the shelf is around Lake Morn. I think they could put a jumping puzzle there. How about a jumping puzzle within the roots of the Pale Tree? You know, that'd be kind of an interesting idea. Now, the Polymock Arenas, there's another Polymock Arenas. That's an area that I've never been to. That was also part of, like, Living World Season 1 was right there. So, like, they probably wouldn't be able to do that. I got close with my Griffin year and a half ago, however long ago it was. I got close, but I couldn't get in there because of Invisible Wall. But there's certainly plenty of other areas in Radasum, not even within the city itself, but like just outside of it, that you could sneak something in there. Man, I miss jumping puzzles. The last jumping puzzle this game had was in... Anyways, there's a story instance in Path of Fire where you find an underground thing. Maybe it's this right here. It's been long enough. Anyways, yeah, the last known jumping puzzle that's ever been made for Guild Wars 2 is somewhere in Champions Gap. I don't remember exactly where it is. So yeah, I want more jumping puzzles. And that was a year and a half ago. There's a year and a half ago. And the only way you can get to that particular jumping puzzle is when you play the personal story. And that assumes that you know it's there, because, by the way, spoiler alert, it's actually up over your head. So, so it sucks. There's no jumping puzzle since. None of these maps have it. High Bluffs, Domain of Corna, Domain of Esten, that's not Sandswept Isles. Even in the last one, Dragonfall, no jumping puzzles whatsoever. So, I am disappointed. In any event, completely off topic. I have felt that the Norn have been significantly neglected by ArenaNet in the last, well, now 7 years. We've had, the Selvari had their turn in Heart of Thorns, obviously, and then after Heart of Thorns, it's been nothing but humans. So humans dominated Season 3, humans dominated Path of Fire, humans dominated Season 4. And I just Well, kind of towards the end of season 4, it kind of shifted away from them, but still, I mean, it's just humans all over the place. And then once in a while, you get the Inquest, popping up down here, um, and where's the other one? Surprisingly, a a bunch of char, like out of freaking nowhere. What the hell was up with that? Nobody saw that one coming. So, anyways, all the major races have been represented fairly well throughout the various whatchamacallits, with the sole exception of Air and her son Bram. The Norn haven't really gotten any significant exposure. Yeah, you see a lot of NPC Norn sitting around all over the place, if you can actually tell the difference between a Norn and a human. The only difference really being their voices, or not really, because they all sound human, and their height, and that really doesn't mean much of anything. So I have felt that the Norn have been in need of a cultural update, because they've been neglected for quite some time. Even in their own backyard in Bitterfrost Frontier, the Norn are not front and center. It's actually the Kodan, which is a non-playable race. So anyways, I was pleased as punch when I found out that Dragon Bash was going to be coming to Holbrook. Because, favorite city, and a race that I wish that they would get more exposure, but they haven't quite. So, yeah, look at this view. Let me show you something. Yes, I have a sky scale now. Shut up. Look at this view. Not that view. Look at this view. That's great. I love that. Ooh, lag, whatever. That view. That's a great view. That's genius. And it's all stone. It's not ice. It's stone. It's great. I wish we could climb up in there. That would be a great jumping puzzle in there, jumping between the different things. That'd be cool. In any event, yeah, I didn't know about Dragon Bash until last week, and then it came back all of a sudden. So here I am, and better than nothing, I suppose. I just realized that Gordon, the festival, Choya, is right there. That's nice. They got him into one of these finally. That's great. I like that. I didn't notice that earlier, but I have noticed it here. Well, that loading screen took for flippin' ever. What the hell? Must be a lot more players in here. So, once again, this is not going to be an initial reaction because, well, the initial reaction was about 2 hours ago. I got frustrated and like, yeah, screw it, I'm going to go have dinner. So this is not an initial reaction. This is more covering what I've already covered. So, yeah. Although it was nighttime earlier, so... Wait. This is, What? Wait, what's... maybe my computer has not loaded properly, but, all the decorations are gone. Like, there should be... What is going on here? My computer was chugging so hard I had to wait for everything to load in properly, because, like, most of the decorations didn't appear, like the hologram of Kraukatork, for example, which is probably the only way you'll be able to look at him outside of Story Instance, I should point out, at least completely. Very much out of scale, I should point out. Anyway, as usual, there's nothing particularly special in the neighborhood over here. There's just nothing there, so whatever. But dragon pinatas. I'll get Zytaffy out of them. What's great about the pinatas is they're not quite Aurene, because when Dragon Bash was created in 2012, 2013-ish, they didn't even have a name for Aurene. They might have known, it's like, okay, we're going to have a baby dragon, a couple years down the line, but that had not happened yet, so this is just a generic one-size-fits-all dragon, as is most of this. Obviously, Kraukatork wasn't designed until, like, after Path of Fire started. That's when they started leaning on his design. Spoiler alert, by the way. Yeah, most of what you see here is left over. Pretty much, the majority of the festival is left over from how it originally appeared in before Living World Season 1. The whole point of the Dragon Bash was to celebrate the destruction or the death of Zaitan, which actually had a different which actually had a different meaning at the time. If you know there's a little bit of a kind of a change that they did to the personal story. Previously, you used to be able to jump off of the Pride of Tyria down into the water, and you could look at the corpse of Zaitan. Like, yeah, he was dead. It wasn't until later that, yeah, by the way, that up there. It wasn't until much later that, or a short time later that. ArenaNet changed it. Not only did they change the difficulty so that you didn't need 5 people in order to beat it, but they also changed it so that they had that song pop up last week when they did the trailer announcing that Dragon Bash was going to be returning.
I'm sure. I know. I'm here to talk to your wife.
What was I saying? I totally don't remember what I was talking about. Something about Norn not getting enough exposure. Holbrook is my favorite of the racial cities, something to that effect. Anyways, there's a couple of regular aesthetic things they've changed. For example, some of the crafting stations have been moved, removed, or just outright duplicated in other places. So even though most of this looks pretty much the same as what you would ordinarily expect to see in here, you'll notice that others, not quite as populated as they were previously, not quite as busy. You see they've actually moved them over here. Ha! 4 years of playing, I didn't know they did that. They took the halls that are, like the big one right there that's undercover, and the one that's over there, it's shaped like a giant claw. Put 2 of them in there. They may have had that in there before, but I've never noticed it until just now. That's funny. I do not cook. 4 years of playing, I have not created a cook. Because I do not depend on food for my characters to function. That's probably why I'm not as good a player as others, perhaps, because I'm not running all those bonuses and stuff. There's the firework launchers. They shoot
I haven't taken
stuff.
leave of my senses. I've seen creatures of
I
metal
don't know
and
what that
steel.
is. Now, I didn't 2 hours ago, but I think I will. I did not do this previously, so. Oh, sure, absolutely. Let's do it. the record, I'm terrible at steering a beetle. Oop, no, wrong button. Oh, I should not hit that then. Oh wow, I forgot this went under here. I completely forgot that. Eek. Nope, I missed it. I missed it. I missed it. I missed it. Turn around. See, I told you I'm terrible at this. Is this a straightaway? Yeah, it is. I think it's safe to trigger this here. Ooh, nope, that way. I hit the first available thing I possibly could. I wasted my heals. No, I went the wrong way. Again. Wasted my boost at the same time. I'm terrible at this. Never mind the fact that I've never done this before, this one before. Here's a guildie.
Pardon me. Pardon me.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Damn it. I can't boost now because I'll just crash into something again. Wait, what? No, stop. Reset. Oh, I hit the boost thing again. No, I don't want to. So I'm going to turn this way. Oh, that's not one. Alright, let's try this again and try not to. Go. Thank you.
Oh, let's go to the dragon.
I'm terrible at roller beetle. Turn. Missed it. Got it. Crashing into everything. Drifting is awful. Roller beetle's been out for over a year now. I'm still crashing into everything. That's better. Bad idea. I screwed up. Turn. Oh, I can't turn when you're drifting. Wasted the boost because I crashed into exactly the same corner again. Go. Watch me crash again. Like that, for example. Kind of. Do better than I want. Oh, come on. No. Missed the boost. And I missed that, because why not? Yeah, I got the boost. Doing better than I did the first time. No, why did I waste that? Why? Oh, I did better. Did I? I have no idea what I did. So. Okay, so I'm never doing that ever again. I rarely use the roller beetle. My primary mount for speed is the jackal. Get up a little higher so I can show that. Yeah. Anyways, I was talking about how some of the merchants, or not merchants, but the merchants, but some of this has been changed because ordinarily you have like a smaller generic merchant, but you don't have these larger roofed craftsman stations. That is different. So I wanted to get some altitude. So wait, altitude. What am I talking about? I got this. What's wrong with me? I'm still poor. I got this thing almost a month ago, and I'm still poor. I'm still trying to recover from the amount of gold I had to put into this thing. like that. I also like how it's integrated into the Great Hall so that this thing looks like its neck or its body, and the head is sitting out there. So I like how they did that. Golem. I also like how that's it's not a solid chunks of metal or wood, but it's ribbed sections. It's segmented. I like that look. That works. It's kind of like the designers, you know, whoever designed that and built that. They realized, nah, we can't make it out of solid chunks of metal or wood. We're gonna have to do it segmented, make it lighter weight. So that's a clever idea. Oh, it's a quaggan. Yay. A lot of golems. A lot of golems. Why do people insist on putting these banners just directly into, like this one right here? Yeah, they insist on putting the banners so close to each other. Like, why? You can't even touch them. You're just wasting those banners because they're able to hit one but not the other. Golems. The RNG is not smiling at me. And another golem, because why not? Let's see, can I do it again? No. And I'm done. And I'll have better luck with dragon pinatas. I like how they turn to confetti that looks like little dragons. That's great. Dragon, what was that? Dragon slapper. Is that a daily? Yeah, it's daily. Complete a lap in the mount race and hold back with the time within the time limit. The winner in the Dragon Bash Moa race, which I witnessed earlier. I'll get that. I'll go back over that again. Who am I kidding? I have to go back over all of this. Well, to be fair, I did spend a lot more time talking about, complaining about how the Norn have not gotten proper exposure from, by the way, I believe that's in scale, or something to that effect. He's pretty darn big. And how much, and I was romanticizing about how much I enjoy the Shiver Peak Mountains because Sandra's lore right here was my very first character. She's a Norn. And, oh, I love this song. I love this song. This fits the Shiver Peak Mountains so well. I'm just going to shut up and let it play.
I need someone to mend clothes. I've got plenty.
My wife loves to sing. I'll let her know you.
My crew is on the verge of a breakthrough.
Krauka chocolate? I haven't heard that one before. That's great. Dragonfish candy.
I figured we'd talk eventually.
Right from my favorite song into one of my other favorite songs. Like this, it replaces the typical spotlight feature I guess they usually have in Holbrook. Completely replaces it, covers it up, because usually it's a huge towering thing. But that looks menacing, by the way. In the background there, the Great Hall. That's great. Sir Ingenious is hard at work as usual. Unfortunately, the exterior of the city has undergone some nice changes. Unfortunately, the interior of the city, the interior structures, not so much. They're all pretty much the same as what they usually are. What does that say? I can look later.
You must visit more often.
That didn't work. You know, now that I think about it, it's been so long since what's wrong with me? I had baby Aurine here for the longest time, but when season 4 ended, I decided to swap it out for adolescent, I guess is what they're calling her. Yeah, adolescent Aurine. So, yeah. I hope we get a, shall I say, adult Aurine mini. That would be nice. Yeah, I was going to look up her story, which is totally killing time. Let's see. Oh, Raven. Yeah, I was wondering about that. It's only been 4 years since I created this character, so yeah, I totally can't remember some of the things that she did. Her personal story, her level 10 story, I think I picked the one where she like lost the Warhorn and had to get a bitch. She lost the Warhorn in like a drinking bed, or she was robbed or something like that, so something along those lines. So. Anyways, I like what they've done with the city here. It's fairly nice. That is so distracting, and to a degree slightly spoilerish to have Kralkatorrik. Like, spoiler alert, that's what Kralkatorrik ultimately looks like, although that's not what it looked like in the second to last, or the third to last. It wasn't All or Nothing, what was it? Sanders is the only character I've ever taken through every single story that's available. Startigitis, I think. Is that right? Yeah, Startigitis we saw. No, wait a minute, what am I talking about? Path of Fire, that's where, to kill a god. That's where we first see Kralkatorrik for the first time ever. Like, on screen, that was the first time we saw him. And that's not what he looked like at the end of Season 4, I'm just saying. Because all you really saw was his head and his neck, and that was it, so... I'm inclined to think that this is not in scale. Like, for as freaking huge as he looks here, Kralkatorrik's actually far larger than that.
Join the battle for the mist.
He's very, very large, even larger than what this hologram is implying here, so... Kind of wish he'd been a wyvern, had no front arms. You know, I think that would have been a nice change. Or maybe no arms at all. That would have been interesting. Anyways, yeah, I like what they've done with the, I like what they've done with the city center here. Really nice. It's not quite Chinese New Year, or, excuse me, the Canthan Lunar New Year, but it's kind of close. I suppose you have to kind of cross the territory at some point. I mean, to be fair, Dragon Bash was one of those festivals that was created in the first year of Guild War II, where they just kind of throwing shit up at the wall and seeing what sticks. That's pretty much what Dragon Bash was. It was celebrating the destruction of Zaitan. For those of you who have not played the Personal Story 1 through 80, shame on you. You need to get on that shit. No excuse. Most people usually don't come over here unless it's tied to story or something. Hasn't changed too much. What's this? Dragon Opinion. It's Aurine, right? Now, unlike the Queen's Gauntlet and... what's the other one? Festival of the Four Winds. The little bit of time I've spent here, I have not noticed any... aside from, well, kind of the obvious one right over my head at the moment. Aside from that... I haven't seen any, and maybe the mount race, I haven't seen any big indications of updates in terms of, like, getting the story across. Because when you go to Festival of the Four Winds, there's a, and it kind of breaks your heart when you read it, I'm not going to, but you can talk to a former Mordrum guard in, what's this place called? I guess you can't even put your marker over it. There's a Silvari. If you fly, let's be honest, if you glide or fly your way up to the top of this rock, there's a former Mordrum guard sitting up there. You talk to him, and but that was something that was obviously not there originally when Festival of the Four Winds came out, because Festival of the Four Winds came out during or just after or just before Season 1 had completed. So, excuse me, hiccups. Something along those lines. You know, that was one of several reflections. There's also a tribute to Aurine, or that just shows her egg. There's a little statue thingy sitting right there. There are no Karka attacks. So, like, all of the hostility that used to happen in here didn't happen in 2018. So those were kind of things that they changed. The other thing they did is they removed the Sanctum... oh, what's it called? The... what is that thing called? I totally can't remember what that thing was called. Oh, what were they called? Yeah, anyways, completely distracted. So my point is, like, they made adjustments to Festival of the Four Winds to reflect the passage of time. As opposed to here, where, well, aside from that critter right at the center there, which wouldn't be created for like another 2 or 3 years afterwards, because that comes from Heart of Thorns. Flying Tooth, and Krokatork overhead. Where is he? There he is. Aside from those, I haven't really seen any indications that, by the way, juvenile polar bear for you you rangers out there, if you need to get a polar bear, that's where you get them. There aren't really any indications of the passage of time in this updated version of Dragon Bash. Now, yeah, there's new merchants, but like there isn't a, as far as I can tell, there's not a merchant that sells a harvesting node. I got my ass handed to me a couple hours ago when I did this, so. Yeah. Something strange in your backyard. Who are you gonna call? Just call me. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Okay, now it did this to me earlier. I don't know why it kills you as soon as it brings you in here. I don't get that. Ooh, this is busy. Aww. Wait. Why did I get a slow put on me? What's going on? Ooh, Eye of Zaitan. Let's do it. Why did I throw a knockdown? He didn't even have a CC opened up. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, God! He does a reflect. I haven't done this one yet, so I don't know what to expect. Wait, there's a lesser eye? That can be both at the same time. So I'm not dead. Stow that shit. This song never gets old, by the way. It's a great song. Be careful not to get another reflector on me. This is how I
We heal and run. Fury is mine.
I think I've said this in a number of my other videos, but the one disadvantage I can think of with Ranger Longbow is that you have to keep as far away from the target as possible in order to do maximum damage, which means you're not close up with everybody else, and take a short recess, okay? You're not close up with everybody else, and you're not getting advantage of those boons, so it does weaken you to a degree. But the advantage is you don't get hit as easily. So you know you can maintain your mobility, you can maintain your utility and support positioning. I want one of these in my home instance. I want one of those Dragon Bash badges in my home instance.
Need
Here
something
comes the
happening?
next opponent!
Is there a dead player right in front of me? Jesus. This is shit.
Pulled from the iciest depths of the Shiver Peaks. Freeze you in your tracks.
I do not recognize this music.
Strength of the pack.
Oh. Okay, I recognize the theme. The theme is from Path of Fire, but I recognize the song itself. Oops. Darn, it was the whole thing. Yeah, random... Oh, out of bounds penalty. Bounds penalty. Okay, good to know.
Quickly.
Let's see if I can incur that penalty again. Okay.
It hits like a mountain and burns like a volcano. Steel yourself for the Mega Destroyer.
Oh god, not this thing. No, 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 not this, not this. This thing kicked my ass a few hours ago. He one hits you, and then he sits on top of the spawn point. Bullshit, in my opinion. Why am I so slow? Oh, that's right. Ah, shit, not paying attention. He does that every time. It's like every time I take, like, 1 second to look away, he attacks me. I hate this. Now he's gonna see that I'm down. He's gonna come run over to me. He's gonna beat the snot out of me. That was the last time I fought him. I was all by myself, so that's a different story. here, I'm doing the exact opposite of what I'm supposed to be doing as a ranger using a longbow. I'm as close as possible to all these critters. And so I'm actually doing minimum damage right now. Even though I'm getting buffed by everybody else, I'm actually doing the least amount of damage out of everybody. And I could put out my melee, but this weapon's actually better, so... Yeah, fine. Of course, as soon as I use melee, what happens? I can advance it, it's being used instantly. Attack. I get credit on everything.
Come on. I'll hit back.
Just when you think it's dead, it might
This is incomplete and restricted. Oh god, not a Hydra. Hydra's OP must nerf. Never like... Nope. God damn it. Why are these NPCs are always hitting me just as I fire that thing? Always. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. It's like they're watching. CC phase, that's unfortunate. Well, Hydra's ROP must nerf, so... No!
That had to hurt.
I don't have a pull, but...
Might makes me right.
That was pure selfishness. I just wanted that achievement of the kills.
this hulking platform.
Hello, Zilla. You watch, as soon as I start running melee, I'll just get my ass handed to me. It's a big difference.
Getting healthy.
course. I use my knockback technique, and what does he do? He knocks me back. I hate NPCs that do that. I hate that. Oh, okay. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay. And I totally didn't see what the other ones were.
Might makes me right. Come on, hit me.
I was trying to aim for the abomination and it got me anyways. That's nice. Okay. Anyone else want to knock me over? Do this. Who did that? That was great.
This dragon minion is a sight to behold. But don't get distracted, or you'll lose.
Might makes me right.
Wait, so he doesn't have his shield up and he's reflecting everything? What?
Getting healthy. Rebound. Defense, then offense. Nothing can bring me down. Come here.
You're seeing this.
We feel this one.
Okay, how can he be... How can he be reflecting all those projectiles when his shield isn't up? Now he's focusing on me, because why not?
Nothing can bring me. We feel this.
And he almost killed my pet, because why not? There it is again! There it is again! I hit him during the right phase, he's just...
You're seeing this.
I chose you. We feel this one.
Bet you as soon as I walk over there, he's gonna kick my ass. Watch.
Defense, then offense. This is getting serious.
Whoa, what happened?
Nothing can bring me down.
Switch weapons? Oh god, I'm lagging. Why am I lagging? I don't know why I'm lagging. Heal!
We feel
Wow. I lagged for about, what, 20 seconds of that? I am done. Why am I lagging? Why? And so now we're back to the safe area. as I was transitioning, I realized, oh yeah, I've got to show this off again. So there's got to be a couple of jokes here. Logan's Lover, that's Retlock. Mystic Forgery, I love that. The Fighting Commander, duh. Tipping the Scales, I see what you did there. Meep the Second. Now, let's see, where are you? Meep the Second. Hasn't loaded in yet. And there's a sand shark there for some reason. So Meep the Second. Is that right? Yeah, that's Meep the Second. What is the sound that the Looney Tunes character Roadrunner, what does it sound like? Oh, shoot. They took off. Daggone it. I'd like to watch Meet the Second. I don't know how the winner is determined in these. So I also don't know if firing off the fireworks helps any or what. Last time I chose Meep the Second, he came in second place. I was pissed with that. It's like we had it at first, and then was it the Fighting Commander showed up at the last second. Probably because I pulled out my Apple at the last second. It's like, yeah, Team Mentor, woo, we lost. See, there's Fighting Commander out in front again. First. Why are you way over here? Look at that. How are we supposed to catch up with that? Seriously. Again. It's disappointing again.
Good hunting.
Gathered. Oh, there's another merchant here. Oh.
It's an accident, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you
Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, there's a betting stage. So I'll mark you so I can more easily reach you. Actually, no, I can do that later. Oh, I'm lagging again. Hooray.
My son.
God, why am I lagging? What's going on? This is annoying. Betting window has closed for the next race. Joy. Well, when is it open? Oh, that's dumb. This lag is annoying. I don't want this. Alright, I'll do that later. Whatever. So, bunch of skins I don't care about. Bunch of food I don't care about. Kind of the only, I think the only thing here that's getting my interest, aside from that totally rigged race down there, I should point out. Aside from that, I don't really see much here. It's kind of, it's kind of like Festival of the Four Winds, but it doesn't really have a lot that's interesting me. I can't really say if I could offer any alternatives to like what they could add, because they've got a race. Okay, whatever. I wonder if they have a foot race. But I mean, most of the stuff they offer is food, and like I don't care. Drobert, I'm gonna get that taken care of. I'm gonna have to worry about that. And then I don't know. There's not a lot here for me at this point.
Always happy to see customers.
Like, I've seen these holographic wings for, well, 4 years. Not my thing. I can't see any of my characters using it. However, I do like, let's see. Into the Dragon Helm set, which is okay, but I can't use it. At least she can't. Oh, it contains... Oh, okay, well, it says it does, right? Mini Gordon, yeah, I think I could get behind that. I wouldn't mind behind that. That is amusing. Say that for next year. Helmeted Moa, yeah, okay, whatever. But the wings, no, I've never wanted those floppy wings. That does not interest me. Let's see, is there another merchant here? What's this? Nope, that's not a merchant. Oh look, it says candy. I wonder what this is about.
Elder or not, all dragons.
Yeah, more food.
Destruction is in their nature. Talk to you later. Don't believe me. Why don't you go
How about weapon skins? Haven't seen any of those yet. Maybe I'm missing a merchant or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't know. Just, so it's okay. So the decorations are nice, he said as he looked up at Jackal's butt. The decorations are nice, and it's happening in my favorite city. I can live with this. But, beyond that, just kind of collecting Zytaffy and, okay, whatever. What's that symbol? I don't know.
My northern friends, fill your ears with the glory and grace of the 6 true gods.
Music's okay, I guess. What's this? It's easy to learn but tough to master. Think you can do it? Okay. Oh, I've got a... Okay. Where are they? They're there. Whoa, 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 whoa! Was not expecting that. Oh, they actually appear on that. I wasn't paying attention.
I know Scardy.
I missed one? Where? Can't hit that. Whoa, 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 whoa! Glide! Yeah, this is going well. I've only hit 4 this entire time. Joy. Yeah, let's try that again, shall we? Where am I? Claim buff and they stick it right on top of the thing. And walk right past it. Currently unable to mount. Of course, that'd be too easy. Came all this way for no reason. Enjoy. They're all upstairs. Ah, that's not what I wanted. No, turn around. Turn around. Wow. Okay, so I've hit 3 so far. This isn't frustrating. No, not at all. Which I fall in the hole. Wow. Really? Wow. So that's 3. Whoa! Okay. Alright, so that happened. Okay, so I'm not gonna do that again. That's dumb. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Like, Festival of the Four Winds, you had the view, you had races once in a while, and you could ride on the boat. That was fun. What's the other? Queen's Gauntlet, you just kind of beating up shit the whole time. Okay, whatever. And then you get some fancy skins and shit. Whatever. But this one, I don't know. Oh, hey, Knut, remember me? I'm the guy who, around the gal, I guess, who, no? Maybe I should follow him and see what he does. I don't know. As pretty as this festival looks, it's not actually, like, doing anything for me. So, it's okay. It's okay. Fine. I think... Ooh, this texture went out. I think they're going to have to add some stuff to get my attention. That's what I think. I'll probably hang out in here a little bit more, but... I don't know, like, okay, I witnessed it, and yay, it'll get me out of the house for a little bit. So, yeah, that is, Dragon Bash. And there's another golem, because why not? Oh, no. There's your postcard. Right there. Oh, wait. I want to wait for Zaitan. So wait for it, and he's going to disappear in the background. There we go. There's your screenshot. Yay. Okay. I'm starting to ramble at this point, and I like this song. Okay. And so with that, this is AV Unit 4A saying thank you for tuning in.